The show opens with an illustration of the Earth by Ishita Pohoja. Earth has tired eyes and wears a mask made of trash. White text below states, "It is what it is." The title of the show.
Our 6 cast members appear on screen as themselves, each in a small viewing window box that creates 2 columns of 3. They each wave to the audience. Faith begins to speak. Faith is a white non-binary person wearing glasses, a flannel shirt, and is sporting wavy brunette hair. Faith is on the left side of the viewing window, below Angus and above Ishita.
Hi, everyone. Welcome, and thank you so much for being here today. We are so excited to share this show with you. We, the ensemble, wanted to come out and talk to you a bit before we start. First, we wanted to let you know that if you are in need of ASL interpretation or an audio description of the show, you can find links to both in the chat box, which is located on the right-hand side of your screen.
At this point, most of the cast is smiling. Faith gestures to her right. Z begins to speak as she leans forward in her chair excitedly. Z is a Taiwanese Asian female wearing a light blue sweater, red lipstick, and has medium-length black hair. Z is in the middle of the column of the right side, below William and above Adrian.
We want to connect with you all. Let us know in the chat box. Where in the world are you tuning in from today?
Ishita begins to speak. Ishita is a Multani South Asian female-bodied individual wearing gray overalls and has curly black hair with short bangs. Everyone's expressions become more somber and serious to reflect the content of Ishita's monologue.
Since we began working on this show in January, a lot has happened. The COVID-19 global pandemic, Black Lives Matter protests, worldwide anti-oppression movements, including anti-caste movements, wildfires here in California, and many other terrifying disasters across the globe. Even though we all have experienced these realities in some form, they do not affect us all equally.
This mood continues as Adrian begins to speak. Adrian is a white and Korean woman wearing a black t-shirt and is wearing her long black hair in a ponytail.
We want to acknowledge that our show does not and cannot represent the experiences of many who are directly impacted by everything we just named. There are so many important issues related to the climate crisis which are not in this show, and many that we can't speak to because of the identities that we hold.
Angus begins to speak and is looking at the chat box on Twitch. Angus is a white Portuguese gender-blessed, wearing a pink and purple multicolored jacket and shoulder-length brown hair parted to their left.
I'm seeing where everyone's tuning in from, and we are so honored to be part of this global synchronous experience. We are broadcasting from the San Francisco Bay Area in California as settlers on the ancestral lands and unceded territory of the Chochenyo and Ramaytush Ohlone, who have lived on this land since time immemorial. We recognize the discrimination and violence inflicted upon Indigenous people of California and affirm Indigenous rights to homelands and home waters.
William begins to speak. William is a white male wearing a pink and green vertically striped shirt.
We're incredibly proud to have partnered with 3 organizations, Banyan Roots, Movement Generation, and the Village in Oakland. If y'all are able, we encourage you to donate to 1, 2, or all 3. You'll find the links to donate below the viewing window and in a resource packet that you'll receive at the end of the show. So I think we're ready to start the show.
William nods at the rest of the cast.
See you in there.
Everyone nods back as the title pops on screen along with the music. Various members of the cast smile and wave at the audience as they fade out and the opening credits fade in.
Open to a blue-gray sky. Credits flash on the screen in black letters. It is what it is. A dark and tender comedy for the climate crisis. Director, Rebecca Siegel, she, her. Stage manager, Christian Harris, he, him. Filmmaker, Martin Bustamente. he, him. Editor, Eric Garcia, he, him. Camera pans down to a wide shot of a smoky Golden Gate Park with trees in the background. Cast members' names appear in white letters. Adrian Gebhart, she, her. Adrian, wearing black shirt and purple shorts, cartwheels onto the screen and looks at the camera, smiling while giving finger guns. Angus Baguinho, they, them. Angus, wearing a white helmet, black jumpsuit, pink and purple multicolored jacket, a red fanny pack, and boots, throws a skateboard on the grass and hops onto it with both feet. Camera zooms in on their face and torso as they act like they are riding the skateboard. They give a big smile and a thumbs up. Faith von Minden, she, they. Faith, with brown curly hair, wearing a 3/4 sleeve black shirt, orange pants, and a red and blue plaid flannel tied around their waist, glasses, black boots, and a tan mask. Faith looks wistfully while holding a dandelion and attempts to blow it out while wearing a mask. Upon realizing this, they playfully shrug at their attempt, lower the mask, and blow the dandelion before smiling directly at the camera. Ishita Pohoja, she, Z. Ishita, wearing a tank top, gray jumpsuit, and white shoes, stands in a tree behind a wide branch and playfully rocks back and forth from left to right with a big smile. She lands on the right side and laughs into the camera. William Walton, he, him. William stands next to a tree wearing a striped button-up and teal corduroy pants and a black mask. William acts as if he is bantering with the tree and then looks into the camera and laughs as if the tree has just told a funny joke. Zheng, she, her. Z, wearing a black tank top, gray cardigan, blue jeans, and sandals with braids in her hair, rolls down the hill. As she stops, Z looks up at the camera to smile and gives a thumbs up. Fade to black.
Open on Angus as trickster, wearing a red bow tie and black feet. On their head, trickster wears a black top hat, which is decorated with a white feather and red music symbol. Trickster stands in front of a dark red theater set with a curtain. Trickster is looking into the camera with a warm smile. While Trickster is talking, their hands move freely.
Welcome, 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 one and all distinguished guests, purveyors of our future success, heralds of a new world order, you, who will bring climate peace to all four corners of the world, and perhaps even the universe. I will be your host today, and what an honor it is. Welcome to It Is What It Is, a dark and tender comedy for the climate crisis. A few announcements before we get started. Our show runs roughly 90 minutes with no interruption. Please take a moment to locate your exits, in case of wildfire, cyclone, or any other climatic event leading to the inevitable eventuality of us all becoming or remaining climate refugees. The restrooms are located likely down the hall from you, hopefully nearby. Please silence your phones and make sure your masks are on you somewhere, your COVID, your N95. With everything going on, it really is a shame not to be able to see your faces. It is what it is. Speaking of, let me tell you what we have in store for you. Throughout our show, you will be introduced to 5 central characters. Butterfly.
Trickster raises their hands, and the black title cards show up. The black title cards say, Butterfly, Too Much CO2, Mr. Blossom, Persephone, Therapy, in ordered sequence.
Native to the mountains of Taiwan, tells a tale of the lineage of love. And our resident scientist, or as his YouTube followers know him, Too Much CO2. And yes, he will provide lots of overwhelming facts, but don't worry, you'll appreciate his calm demeanor. Miss Blossom, our show's educator, helps us figure out what to do about all of this. Then Then there's Persephone, Greek goddess of the sea. She goes deep. One hell of a climate justice goddess. And a very special treat, we have included some therapy sessions in our show. Yes, that's right. We have brought in a therapist for the occasion because we know how important it is to talk about climate anxiety and all our other feelings, really. And dears, we really did work hard to make this show smack dab middle of a global pandemic stuffed into a crushing mass societal crisis rolled into a recurring nightmare baked by the heat of burgeoning civil and foreign wars to turn you all into the climate justice warriors you need to be if you're going to survive past the next century, next decade, next month. We really aren't too sure. See, every day things are 10 times worse, so it's hard to predict. But here's the show, and it's our last chance to save the world, so we are counting on you to move this thing forward. Let's begin, shall we?
A black title card that states Butterfly in Taiwan appears on screen as Amish indigenous people's traditional melody plays. A close-up of Z as mountain is translucent against a picture of a large mountain. Mountain looks stoic and speaks in Taiwanese throughout the show. My name is Enshua Kyoto. I am a cliff that holds many stones. The river that runs through me is Chingshui, Clearwater River. When I was a younger mountain, a long time ago, humans arrived. In my chest, Z's ancestors built their home. Scene transitions into Z as Butterfly, with long brown hair, a yellow dress, and barefoot. She stands in a field next to a forest with pink flowers and bushes in Golden Gate Park at golden hour. She dances majestically, slowly and mournfully, moving her hands and face in and out of the light. Butterfly speaks in Mandarin throughout the show. Mountain, I am leaving. My plant friends left. Without them, I don't have food to eat. My plant friends don't have me to help them pollinate. I don't know if I will be back, Mountain, but I have to go if I want to survive. Transition back to Mountain, who speaks. I do not want to say goodbye to you, Butterfly. I understand. Life on my body has changed. I am always here. Transition back to Butterfly, dancing. Words state 20 years ago. Transition into a scene in a wooded field with William as father, wearing an off-white t-shirt and green pants, kneeling in the field gardening, though you cannot see his face. And Z as child, wearing hair and pigtails, a light orange shirt, a black jumper, and black sneakers. Child looks annoyed and upset, stomping to sit behind father. Father speaks in Taiwanese and child speaks in Mandarin. Father, why do I need to plant these plants? The river is far away and the bucket is so heavy. There are already lots of butterflies on our mountain. Why is the butterfly so important? Father moves his body upward and gestures gently as he talks before picking up his gardening tools again.
我知影这水桶真重，不过我想要种天仙藤去引黄蝶仔转来。我遐细汉的时阵吼，有真侪蝴蝶踮咱山顶夜夜飞，因足水的。不过有一天我发现啊，这食物无伊，蝴蝶也无伊啊，咱的语言台语嘛强强要消失啊。我想要引拢转来咱的山顶。这几年 咱带城市的物件来，因为这对咱来讲真方便，咱的生活踮山顶嘛改变啊。
Child pouts and moves her body dramatically.
但这不是我的
But it's
错
not
啊
my！
如果
fault.
你想要
You
房
want the
产凤梨回
butterfly
来，
to
你
come
自己
back.
去清水
You
溪
can get
提
the
水，
water from the
我不
river
要
by
做
yourself.
这个。
I don't want to do it.
我知影这毋是
Father moves upward and child listens, holding her legs.
你毋对，
I know
啊，
it's
毋过
not
我
your
想要
fault,
这黄蝶仔转
but
来
I
啊，
want to bring the
咱会当
butterfly
做伙
back
拍拼
home.
无？
We can do this together. Father holds his hands to his chest as if to say please. Child looks at father, still upset, but like they are listening.
A title card states the number 2, the word much, the letter C, the number 0, the number 2, spelling too much CO2. Blackout fades into a scene with William as Ben. The scene is presented as a YouTube video. Ben wears circular glasses, charcoal t-shirt, and black corduroy pants. He holds his hands together as he stands in his office. He stands in front of a white wall with a whiteboard containing facts about temperature increase and sea level rise. To the right of him is a spider plant on a green table and a yellow patterned curtain. Ben appears concerned.
Greetings, once more, from the cave of climate truth. Today, we are going to discuss temperature warming and what that inevitably leads to.
A close-up of the upper half of Ben next to the whiteboard.
There's really no way to dance around this particular topic. In fact, we're experiencing a lot of the impacts of warming right now. By 2100,
The scene cuts to a picture of the whiteboard against a grayscale marshland with the words, by 2021, and an arrow pointing to the temperature increases.
with projected 4 degrees warming, even more regions of the Earth will be likely uninhabitable due to intensely high temperatures, desertification, food shortages, and extreme weather events, and the melting of the polar ice caps, which are contributing to rising ocean levels and the displacement of billions of people, insects, and animals.
New arrow points to the places that could be underwater by 2050, including Tabasco, Mexico, Bangkok, Thailand, San Francisco, Bay Area. That says, this is 30 years from now.
This is best case scenario. Worst case scenario, anything above 5 degrees warming, let's say, sees most living beings on the planet at the brink of extinction in as little as 80 years.
The scene cuts back to Ben's office. He holds his hands and crosses the frame in exasperation to the right.
2017 alone, 24 million people were displaced due to the climate crisis in Latin America, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Southeast Asia. That's more than at any point in human history. And it grows more each day. The United Nations is projecting between 200 million and a billion more climate refugees worldwide within the next 30 years. Large portions of the continents sinking into the oceans. What happens when hundreds of millions of families have nowhere to go?
A close-up of the upper half of Ben next to the whiteboard. He raises and lowers his hands with a sigh. Ben looks sincerely at the camera and shakes his head.
Before I end tonight's video, I'd like to extend a message to anybody watching this closer to the year 2050. As Kurt Vonnegut so eloquently put it, dear future generations, please accept our apologies. We were rolling drunk on petroleum.
Cut to black.
A black title card with white lettering comes on screen reading Miss Blossom's Virtual Classroom. Open on Faith as Miss Blossom, sporting glasses and shoulder-length wavy brunette hair. Miss Blossom is wearing a denim jacket, paisley scarf, and white t-shirt. Behind her hang 3 orange, red, brown, and white wall decorations. The first, a painting of a Rorschach mask. The second, a painting of a corgi that reads "All you need is love" and a corgi. And 3, an orange calendar. Blossom is sitting in a chair, facing the camera. She addresses the audience with a bright smile and wide eyes.
Good day, lovely friends. It is so wonderful to see each and every one of your beautiful faces in our virtual classroom. Today we are here to talk about our planet, which is very, very sick. Oh, I know. That must make you feel oh so sad.
Blossom begins holding up cards to the camera. On these cards are faces and words that match the emotions she is expressing.
You may also be feeling scared, angry, confused, and probably guilty. But worry not, that's why I'm here. Together we will learn exactly how our planet is in its most ultimate state of suffering and the easy things that you can do each and every day to save it. You may be asking yourself, why should I listen to you, Miss Blossom? Good question. Well, everyone, I used to be just like you, slowly destroying the world with each and every one of my careless actions. But then I turned it around.
Blossom picks up and shows off a hand-sized potted plant that is barely peeking out of the top of the soil. She then picks up and shows the audience a small mason jar. Then, proudly, with both hands, she exhibits a homemade bar of soap.
I planted a garden, swapped my plastic containers for mason jars. I even make my own soap. Together we will learn how to save the planet. So I got together with our friends, Herman the Frog and Twyla the Bunny, to share a song just about that. Let's watch.
She leans forward with excitement as the screen fades to a new scene with 2 puppets on either side of Miss Blossom. This scene was pre-recorded. On her left is a small light blue bunny puppet with green eyelids and long eyelashes. On her right, a light green scaly frog puppet with 2 pronounced fangs. Blossom, wearing a white sweater and dark-toned flower print dress, is in the middle, holding her ukulele as the puppets bounce into their respective frames. The puppets bounce to their left and right to the tune of the song as it continues.
We all live in a world so wide, many wonderful things exist inside, but we all depend on one another, so we've gotta stick up for each other. Come on now, stick together, yeah. Come on and give the world a hand.
Herman the Frog opens his mouth up wide as he sings.
If you see trash on the floor, go and pick it up. Don't pick any more, 'cause if it goes into the water, it'll stick on a turtle and they'll die.
Frog grabs his neck as if he is choking and falls out of the frame.
Oh dear. Come on now, stick together, yeah. Come on and give the world a hand.
Twyla is very close to the camera as she sings her verse with a concerned look on her face.
When you go to eat some lunch, don't eat any meat, that'll hurt a bunch, 'cause we are all living sentient beings. How would you feel if you were eaten? Bring your bag.
Ride your bike.
Watch that movie by that guy.
Oh, it's so clear. Can't you see? The response
puppets point their hands toward the audience, then back at themselves as Blossom nods her head.
So, come on now, sit together, yeah. Come on and give the world.
The two puppets extend their hands out to the audience as they continue to sway left and right to the tune of the song. Blossom waves goodbye to the audience with a smile, and the puppets do the same. Fade to black.
Open on Angus as Trickster, wearing a red ruffled tuxedo shirt, a black vest, and a top hat. Trickster smiles and moves their hands comfortably.
Hello, everyone. Isn't Miss Blossom wonderful? Such an incredible teacher. Learning about the climate crisis can be so heartbreaking. That's why keeping positivity alive is so important in our fight. Our next star will continue inspiring us. Persephone, goddess of the seasons, who will help us connect to each other and the heavens.
I am here. Hello, everyone.
Ishita as Chash character shows up in the right-hand side of the viewing window, and Trickster stays in the left-hand side of the viewing window. TTC wears a costume full of trash, such as Amazon bubble wrap, white plastic bags, mask, waste paper. On TTC's hand, she wears a hat made by black plastic bag, blue mask, toilet paper tube. TTC holds a straw in her hands and plays with the straw while talking to the Trickster. Trickster is shocked and feels annoying when TTC shows up. TTC introduces herself and talks to Trickster ironically and confidently.
What are you doing here?
Oh, of course. Who am I? You all would need a link for comprehension purposes. So, you may categorize me as a trash fashion performative activist, because the only thing we're sustaining at this point is trash. Haha. Audiences, you may call me trashy trash collector.
TTC, you are not supposed to be here.
Oh, I am not supposed to be here. Well, Trixie, you would know everything there is to know about claiming a space, wouldn't you?
What does that even? No. I prepared the order. I showed the 5 central characters at the very beginning of the show. Okay, you are not ruining my production like you ruined everything else.
Oh, your production. Well, Trixie, if nothing else, it looks like you need some color in there, and I can obviously add some.
Shh, you're going to make them uncomfortable talking about race like that. Now, as I was saying,
Trickster gets closer to the camera as they introduce the next Persephone scene with a smile.
Mesdames and messieurs, all those both and in between. Up next, Persephone. Thank you. Enjoy. Without interruption.
Fade to black. A black title card with Persephone written in white letters. Cut to Adrian as Persephone. Persephone's room is decorated with white fairy lights, a salt lamp, and several plants, including a variety of orchids. Persephone wears a red and purple flower headband and a silver dress, which her long brown hair is draped over. Persephone holds a glass of red wine, which she sips throughout, which she looks at as well as directly at the camera in the scene. Persephone smiles longingly.
I'm so excited because tonight
I get to see my quarantine lover, Venus. Oh, that hot molten body. She's so beautiful among the rest of the stars and the planets in the sky.
Persephone sips her wine before looking amazed.
It's fascinating. How humans across distance and time have memorialized their stories into the celestial bodies.
Persephone's expression changes to perplexed and concerned.
But what is lost when the lights block out those bodies? The industrialized world has grown, outshining and overpowering the natural night lights. So many of us have replaced our stars with screens. Our stars can help us move into action, but they aren't the action. They're cold. Look at me, it says. I'm everything you need. But you're not. You'll never replace the tenderness of touch.
Persephone looks and gestures with exasperation.
So much feels uncontrollable right now. I should be in the underworld by now to help mark the seasons. We're losing the seasons. Will I lose myself too?
Persephone looks concerned before looking up at the ceiling in discontent.
Demeter, please let me go back down. I've tried to keep you happy, Mother, but I need to be with Hades. I want to be with Hades. I have duties as queen of the underworld, and maintaining balance in death is just as important as maintaining balance in life.
Persephone takes a big sip of wine before looking like she has made up her mind.
I need to talk to Hades.
Scene fades to black. A black title card with the words "A Therapy Session" written in white. Scene fades to a quick close-up then wide shot of Z as therapist sitting on a fallen tree in a lush green wooded area in Golden Gate Park at daytime. Z wears a charcoal pinstripe suit jacket, black top, gray-brown skirt, brown scarf, and black shoes. Her legs are crossed and hands folded in her lap. She smiles and gestures welcomely. Throughout the scene, she looks in several directions as the entire earth is her client.
Welcome, everyone.
Welcome? To where?
I'm sorry. Welcome to this therapy section. Let's start with a brief check-in with everyone.
Close-up on each of the 3 different tree settings as the Earth, voiced by Adrian, uppercase Earth, voiced by Ishita, and lowercase Earth, voiced by William.
No.
Close-up on the therapist, looking slightly surprised before cutting to a wide side angle of the therapist, who adjusts herself stiffly.
Did I miss something there?
We all miss things sometimes.
Cut to the Earth.
We've worked over the years, these billions of years, to maintain some semblance of balance between our own well-being and others.
Wow, yes.
Cut to mid-shot of the therapist, who gives validating nods.
That sounds like a lot.
Close up on the therapist, who turns in response to the voice to listen intently.
And trillions of changes are needed in so many moments and on so many levels. You
Cut to uppercase Earth.
all, especially in capitalistic industrialized nations, will have to say goodbye to the comforts you know now.
Cut to mid-shot of therapist, who nods in cautious awareness.
Yeah, that's right. Because you are Mother Earth and we are abusing you.
Why?
Close up on therapist, smiling while looking uncomfortable.
Mother Earth. We've seen how some of you treat your mothers, and
Cut to uppercase Earth.
so much of what your therapy is about. Tell me about your relationship with your mother. What did she not fulfill?
Cut to wide shot of therapist, who gestures their hands in an enough motion before regaining her composure.
Okay, Mom. I mean, Earth. I'm noticing there's some hostility. Anger is a very neutral emotion.
Close up then wide shot of therapist, who laughs and smiles nervously.
Why should we talk with you?
totally okay to ask about my credential. I do have a master's degree in counseling psychology with a concentration in drama therapy. And I'm quite worried.
Oh, you're very smart.
Cut to lowercase earth.
We've had enough of you humans trying to fix everything with your big ideas.
Close up on therapist, looking wide-eyed and scared.
So few humans are taking so much from us.
Cut to the earth.
It's a few of you that have thrown everything out of balance.
Cut back to therapist, looking uneasy.
You don't even take care of each other.
Cut to uppercase earth.
You need to call this therapy so that you can understand us.
Cut to therapist, trying to maintain composure.
We are infinitely complex, infinitely multifaceted. We're all Earth.
And we always have to remember that if we engage in a natural disaster,
Cut to the earth.
that's not something we can easily contain. We could accidentally wipe out a whole bunch of precious lives.
Cut to mid and close-up shots of the therapist, who looks uneasy and nervous while wringing her hands as she thinks to herself in Mandarin.
Okay, I'm afraid I can't do this anymore. Maybe I need to 5150 the Earth. Hostilize the Earth against their will? What? Can I even do that? And why am I speaking in English to the Earth? Okay, breathe. I can do this. Come on, get it together.
Therapist composes herself and speaks to all Earths in Mandarin.
So, I'm hearing that there's lots of anger and broken agreements.
Cut to each Earth individually. Therapist looks nervously at her watch.
Oh dear, just seeing the time here. We are running out of time. I don't mean running out of time, I mean the session.
I'm sorry, too much talking. Our time is up.
Oh,
Cut to uppercase Earth, speaking in Hindi.
हमारा समय
Our
पूरा हो
time
गया
is
है.
up.
ऐसा
I
है ना?
believe you mean
आपका
your
समय पूरा
time is
हो
up.
गया है.
Therapist gets up and walks nervously and uneasily to the left-hand side of the screen.
Open on Angus as Trickster on the left-hand side of the viewing window and Ishita as TTC on the right-hand side of the viewing window. And Trickster is smiling, clapping sarcastically.
Yes, Earth, our time is up. And by our, I mostly mean upper caste, upper class, who find it hard to believe that there won't be more and 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 more
Are you done?
time.
Trickster is obviously becoming irked by TTC's disruption and critique of the show.
Fear not, dear one. No need to get all riled up about this. What they need, TTC, is some sweet TLC. My dears, when we take a closer look, what even is time, really? Beginning, middle, end? Mere illusion. This show, at least, will never end, as it began long before its beginning. I myself have been around since the dawn of this existential disaster, this ecological calamity. Worry not. Worry not. What humans can break, humans can fix.
Oh, wait, Trixie. Can you clarify for me which humans break and which humans fix and who these humans fix? What exactly are you addressing here, Mr. Trickster?
Easy there. Let's keep things calm and collected, shall we?
Oh, so now you're tone policing me. Wonderful.
Just because I value effective communication does not mean I'm the tone police. Every word matters, just as every scene in the show has a precise moral to the story, a definitive solution to stave off becoming climate refugees within the next 10 years.
Oh, of course, the one-size-fits-all climate crisis simple solutions.
TTC waves their hands in the air and then claps in sarcastic celebration.
Yay, you figured it all out, haven't you? And who's accountable for the ones who are already climate migrants and refugees? Haven't you done enough?
TTC covers their mouth as they cough.
Colonization, slavery, industrial destruction. Excuse me, the toxicity in the air has been getting to me.
Okay, enough already. You want some climate crisis nitty gritty realness?
Trickster gestures to an entity off screen, then intensely back at TTC as if they were threatening them with these upcoming scenes. TTC nods sarcastically and awaits expectantly.
Cue the standalone scenes, Christian. I wasn't going to show these until 2050, but you forced my hand, TTC. Get ready for some nuanced artistic commentary on existence.
Fade to black.